Shyamalan, baby, yeah. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Guys, look, man, you knew it was coming, all right? Talk smack always gets on the topic out there. It's been trending on Twitter. It's been on IMDb. Guys have been talking a lot about this film. Racism is involved. Race bending. You see, I mean, next to me obviously is Elements, aka Revelation, aka the guy with like something on his head. You see,
Shyamalan!
no, look, man.
Shyamalan, my friend.
Let me just start by saying this very, 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 very simply. I fully, this is not even a lie, I fully 100% believe that the man that directed Last Airbender is not the same man that directed Unbreakable. Fact. I don't care what anybody says. The guy that's directed Last Airbender is not the same man. I'm talking physicality. I'm talking biology here. Stephen A. What? So, I'm looking. Look, man.
I mean, how are you doing? How's things?
No, look, man. The fact that I was not a fan of the show, it was actually Elements that actually even showed me a few of the episodes before Shyamalan was even announced as a thing. So he was actually the one that even told me about the show, because he's obviously a big fan of the show and everything like that, So I know a bit about the show, but really the cat that really knows the show, like the fan. But that's what this review is interesting, because I'm looking at this as a non-fan, and he's looking at this as a fan. And what you will see is that our opinions about this is not too different between a non-fan and a fan. So I mean, just give us a little flavor of Last Airbender, like in a ball of wax, like what the cartoon show is about and what it really encompasses, briefly. Just to get a flavor of what the source material is about.
I can actually breathe in this. Look. Okay, it's a very simple story. Just a guy, they find a guy in an iceberg. These two, Katara, Sokka, according to the film. And this kid is the Avatar reincarnated. He has to save the world. He's been gone for 100 years. Things are messed up. The Fire Nation has been...
Why were you worried if you couldn't breathe?
I thought I'd be able to breathe that.
Okay.
The Fire Nation have been messing things up for the earth, air, water guys, and so the Avatar has to save the day. And for the first season, which is what the film encompasses, is Aang, or Ong, in film terms. Ong back.
Very, very good.
Has to get to the Northern Water Temple to learn water bending, because he's an airbender and he needs to learn all the elements because he's the Avatar and needs to save the day. Simple. That's it. So in the film, it follows that same, storyline. So we've got Aang found in we've got Ong found in an iceberg by Katara and Sokka, and they're like, yeah, this is the Avatar. Let's get him to the Northern Water Tribe to learn water bending. And along the way, the fire guys are going to try to stop him. So really, what could go wrong? It's the same basic story.
What could go wrong?
But pretty much, I think everything could possibly go wrong went wrong. And I'm actually trying to think of words to describe how bad this film actually is. Just how all-encompassing and complete the failure of Shyamalan is.
No. This, I'm telling you guys, like, it's not an exaggeration, because look, man, I always like to play devil's advocate. I always like to be like the guy that comes from like a different point of view, and I don't always like to go with the crowd. So when I heard guys were slamming this film, I was like, look, man, I'm going to give this film the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to come from it. Even if I'm extremely angry and shouldn't be bad because of his racial stuff, I was like, look, you know what? I'm going to come at it from a fresh view. I'm going to insult him on the racial side, but I'm going to come from this film on a fresh view.
But it's like, even without the race bending stuff, this film is a catastrophe. But when you add that onto the debacle that this film is, you've got not only a terrible, terrible film, but like a film that raises real racial and social issues as well, in a very negative way. So it fails in every aspect.
I mean, look, it's like, you see, we're talking about basic basic fundamental filmmaking here. Hence
Not
why
even filmmaking, storytelling.
no, sorry, no,
On the most basic level.
that's what when we're talking about fundamentals here. Hence why I don't believe it's the same guy that directed this, because we've all seen Unbreakable.
We've all seen Sixth Sense.
We've all seen Sixth Sense. Even Signs, the first 3 quarters of Signs, forget the last 10, the first 3 quarters of Signs, we've all seen those films. But this, on the most basic fundamental filmmaking, as Thingy was saying, storytelling, editing, structure level, it's shocking. I mean, it's like, look, man, I mean, I'm looking at this from as a non-fan. Okay, I know the story a bit, but for the very first 10 minutes I watched this film, I was like, okay, what's going on?
Because I don't know how, as someone who doesn't know about the series, I don't know how you could possibly know what's going on.
Because
I don't know how you could have any clue.
Because see, like from the very first 10 minutes here, it is like basic filmmaking. Like Spielberg will actually be screaming in his head. Like it is the basic filmmaking thing when you're making an epic.
Set up the characters.
Like, no.
Set up the scene.
Set
Where
the scene.
are we? Who is involved? What's going on?
It's like, it is very basic. Who are these firebending guys? Where is the world that they live in?
Who are the
Why should I
protagonists?
hate these guys?
Yeah.
Why should I like
the
these
protagonists?
guys? You know, it's like, you can't just show me like a brother and sister and say, oh, they're there. It's like, wait,
look,
why should I like them? Because I don't like them. I actually find them quite scary because they're very serious.
I mean,
you know, so.
have hope. Let me ask you. Okay, listing
Sure.
the four main characters.
Yes.
Okay, describe what their character is. Describe what Ong's character is.
In this film.
As in, what's his personality?
In this film.
Yeah, in this film.
He's an extremely serious. He's actually.
Yeah.
You know what? He's. I think he's
Just
weird.
very simple. Just like he's a very serious, very kind of bland, very emotionless.
Serious, emotionless. Obviously, has some trauma in his past.
Yeah.
So he's dealing with his past, and it's just a very somber.
Okay, and now describe Sokka.
He's just
Exactly the same.
It's just a very
Now
serious.
describe Zuko. Exactly the same. Katara. Exactly the same. It's the same character model for each character, just somber, serious, bland, humorless,
And a very
boring.
important point. And a
For
very
each character.
A very important point. Okay, look. The acting is bad. Facts. I mean, I'm not going to get with it. The acting is bad. Bad Islamabad. It's bad. But listen to the words that these people are saying. Because Elements just made a very good point of like how all these characters are the same. Listen to the words, because words spoken in a script suggest a certain characteristic of someone. Listen to the words that these guys are saying. What more can you do with the words that you're given? Because you're given like, hello, these things are bad. We should go like these are words that have nothing to do with character. They're just to carry on the plot, them story. So the acting is bad, but really, man, a lot has to ride on Shyamalan, as in like your words are like zero dimensional. I can't even give you one dimension.
All the dialogue is all exposition. It's all just explaining the setting. I go, and now we're gonna go here. I'm very angry. I'm gonna hit you with my stick, and like, it's almost like you feel bad for the kids that he's chosen because it's what more can you do?
Look,
really?
man, it's like,
I mean, the acting is. I'm not gonna give them props because the acting was bad across the board. Even the guys have said, I mean, all right, Dev Patel, he was okay for what he was given. Sean Toob, he was okay for what he was given, but still, it was bad. It's like as someone said on Wikipedia, it's like career worst performances across the board.
No, it's true. I mean, it's like, I'm not. For me, see, that's why the thing with the Noah Ringa guy. I mean, let's talk about Noah Ringa. He's the lead.
Okay.
I think that's a very good place to start because I mean, from watching this show, and from the little bits that I've seen of Ong, this is a very jumpy guy. Yeah. He's very much like a